Hello there everyone, it's Spacer back today, and this video is going to be a breakdown on the first two episodes of Star Wars The Bad Batch. I'll tell you right now, I really love the first two episodes. I love the direction that this show is headed, and yeah, I do apologize that I didn't get this video up sooner. I was a bit overwhelmed with schoolwork, college finals, and everything, but the semester is now over, so I'll have plenty of time to make all the Star Wars content that I would like. But yeah, this is going to be a breakdown on the first two episodes of Star Wars The Bad Batch, as well as my overall thoughts on the episodes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get right to it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, first up, we can't not talk about how awesome it was getting to see some scenes from Revenge of the Sith in the Clone Wars animation. Like, I never expected to get something like that, and it was so surreal. It was just absolutely breathtaking, like pure chef's kiss. And then, like, the whole show opened up like your typical episode of the Clone Wars, with Tom Kane returning to do the narration, and we open up right with the Clone Wars battle with the B-1 battle droids and everything. It was just amazing. And then, of course, we had the appearance of Jedi Master Depa Billaba and her Padawan, Caleb Dume, who is, of course, Kanan Jarrus from Star Wars Rebels. And then, tragically, we get to see the events of Order 66 unfold once again from a different perspective, Caleb's perspective, of course. And this was really interesting. I was really glad that we got to see this. It was also just as heartbreaking as all the other times we've seen Order 66. But a lot of fans were quick to point out that it heavily retconned a pretty popular comic, Kanan the Last Padawan, which I was not personally affected by this change, but I do have mixed feelings about it in general, because one of the selling points behind the comics and the novels is that they're all part of the cohesive story, which is Star Wars canon, which includes the films, the novels, the comics, the shows, and whatnot. And for them to go in and change the comic is kind of a, it's a bit of a stinger to the fans that read that comic and really enjoyed it. So I have mixed feelings about that, but then again, they also opened up Kanan's, story to a larger audience, which is also really cool. But overall, I personally really enjoyed the sequence. The change that they made, though, is something I have mixed feelings about, but I really enjoyed the sequence overall. One of my favorite parts about the episode, though, was getting to see what it was like immediately after the events of Order 66. The Bad Batch's reaction when they return home to Kamino, and of course it's revealed that they did not execute Order 66, with the exception of Crosshair, who is kind of going a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. His inhibitor chip is like one of the only ones of the group that is like mostly intact, and unfortunately he does wind up betraying the team. They kind of like shock his inhibitor chip back into fully operational mode. Tarkin is, behind this. And I really liked getting to see Tarkin again. I think he's a really cool character. Echo, of course, does not like Tarkin. The last time you saw Tarkin was at the Citadel mission, where, of course, Echo was presumed dead. And one of my favorite parts about the episode as well was, the little callback to the Domino Squad, where they were training on Kamino. The Bad Batch does something similar here as well. But I really did like just getting to see the immediate aftermath of Order 66, and especially from the Bad Batch's point of view as they returned home to Kamino. They're all super confused with the exception of Crosshair, of course, but like getting to see like the corpse of the Jedi being carried away as they drop the lightsaber on the ground. And all of the clones cheering for Palpatine like after his speech. Like that was just bone chilling. Like they've all already lost all of their individuality and they're just like blank expressions on their face. It was so eerie just how fast everything happened. Like it was just creepy, but so well done. And of course, I don't want to forget about Omega, the new character that is introduced to us in this first episode, and it is revealed that she is in fact a female clone, as many of us, including myself, theorized, and I gotta say, I really like her character so far, and we're going to talk more about her later on in this video. But of course, we get the return of Saw Gerrera when the Bad Batch is sent on their mission by Tarkin, which is really just a trick to see how obedient they are to the Empire, and I really love Saw Gerrera's character. I know a lot of people have like mixed feelings about him, but I just find him to be such an intriguing character, so I was really happy to see the return of him, especially so soon in the season. But of course, once the Bad Batch return, they are forced to flee. They escape with Omega, and unfortunately, Crosshair does stick behind with the Empire. He's become fully subservient. His inhibitor chip has fully taken over, which is unfortunate, but then that brings us to Episode 2, Cut and Run. So, of course, this episode had the return of Cut Lawquane, the clone deserter that we last saw in Season 2 of the Clone Wars all those years ago. Him and his whole family make a return. It was really great getting to see them again. He also name drops Captain Rex, letting us know that Rex is already out there looking for fellow clones and maybe some potential allies, which is really cool. I can't wait to see Rex later on this season, because we do know that he's in the show based off of the trailer. And yeah, so this episode is essentially, following them, the Bad Batch trying to help Cut Lawquane and his family escape because the Empire is starting to crack down. And that was really one of the highlights of this episode, seeing how the Empire is already starting to abuse their power with the data cards and impounding ships and everything. This was overall just a really cool episode, getting some more insight into the early stages of the Empire's transition. Another highlight of this episode was Omega and the relationship and bond that she's starting to build with Hunter and the rest of the Bad Batch members. I think she's just a really wholesome character, and I think all of the Bad Batch characters had some really good moments in here. Wrecker, especially when he was wearing his poncho and his hat and he went to save Omega, I thought that was really cool as well. I do find it pretty funny, though, that Hunter is Omega's father figure, even though he's only at max like a couple of years older than her due to the clone's accelerated aging. Although, granted, they probably mature at twice the rate as well. I just thought it was pretty funny. I did want to point out 2 Easter eggs really quickly, though. The medical droid that we saw in the first episode, AZI-3, is the same medical droid that we saw when Fives uncovered the plot of the inhibitor chips. He actually helped Fives with his plan a little bit. Unfortunately, he did get shot. I'm not sure if he's destroyed or not, but it was nice seeing him again. And then we also had the return of the Nexu, which is like that creature that attacked Padme in Attack of the Clones. Moving forward, though, I'm extremely excited for the rest of this show. I mean, the first 2 episodes already have me hooked on the Bad Batch, and I'm really excited to see what other characters could make an appearance. We already know Captain Rex and Fennec Shand are going to show up. We saw them in the trailer, but I would really love to get some Vader, content in this show. I mean, it wouldn't be absolutely necessary, but I really, really would love to see Vader show up. Ahsoka, it would be cool to see Ahsoka, but I wouldn't be devastated if she didn't show up. Hondo Ohnaka, I need me some more Hondo content. I love Hondo. I think this would be the perfect show for him to show up. Maybe his pirate gang has already been, decimated. I don't know. I just need me some more Hondo. And also, maybe a young Boba Fett. A young Boba Fett working with Fennec Shand would be cool. I mean, I kind of got the vibe that she, kind of already knew Boba in The Mandalorian Season 2, so maybe that would explain their partnership a little more. But it would be an absolute travesty if we did not get to see some more clones, especially Commander Cody. I need to see what they're doing right after Order 66. But let me know what characters you guys would like to see in The Bad Batch. But yeah, so far, I'm absolutely loving The Bad Batch. I cannot wait for the rest of the show to come out. I'd probably give the first 2 episodes like an 8 or 9 out of 10 each. Yeah, maybe that's biased. I don't care. I'm absolutely loving The Bad Batch, guys. I also just wanted to take a moment to mention a theory that I made in a TikTok video a while back about Palpatine's role in this show. Now, yes, full disclosure, this is probably a far-fetched theory, but I speculated that Palpatine might be personally invested in the Bad Batch. Why do I say this? Well, what do we know Palpatine's obsessed with? Surviving beyond death, and how do we know that he ultimately achieved this? Through cloning technology or something similar with, the Strandcast. And I think it would make sense for Palpatine to be interested in some clones with advanced abilities and how that exactly happened. But I don't know, just a thought. I don't think it's going to be the Palpatine show. I think it might be like a smaller subplot. Maybe they focus on it for 1 episode. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Alright, well that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, definitely hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Leave a like, drop a comment, but once again, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be doing a breakdown every Friday for each new episode. Until then, may the Force be with you all, always.